It's looking really well now. I'm gonna go up. I don't know if the camera spots it. There's still not. Up this edge is well covered. There are still sort of patches. You can sort of see dark bits, can't you? So I'm gonna go and just generally do the general area with a brush, because I'm not allowed to do anything else.
No, you make a mess, don't you?
And then
just don't put too much on the roller because it'll run.
The steps are there, love.
You don't want rolls all over it.
So it's looking, especially with the black on the bottom now, look. It's looking really good, and it's ready for the winter, for whatever the winter wants to send at it. Keeps the house a little bit more waterproof, doesn't it? And of course, it's just lovely working on your house. So I don't know if the camera sees it. I've been up and I've given it another sort of a quick coat with the roller, because it goes on pretty thin with the roller. Anyway, we're going to give it an hour and we're going to come back at it again. So in effect it would have had 4 coats by then. Don't want it thick enough so it flakes and comes off, but anyway, does that make a difference? Can you see the difference? It's coming, it's coming. So I forgot to make a little quick before, and then we'll do a little quick afterwards. So it's quite windy today. The wind has blown dust and leaves all over it again, but it no matter. It's done the trick, hasn't it? It's given it a coating. So there's the after. Let's move along here a bit and just do this bit. So there's always that dilemma, isn't there? Do you creosote first and then paint, because the creosote will then go down, and then will the paint stick? Or do you paint first and let the creosote run down over the top of the paint? Let me know which way you prefer doing it, because you know, you could hit them with creosote, fine, then obviously it will drip. They do drip, and it traps on there, and okay, you let it dry, but then does the paint really stick? So this year I've painted the bottom first, which has sort of protected it, and then if we do decide to creosote the fence, any sort of dribbles and runoffs, especially these ones, well, I've tied those in, haven't I? So those ones I've tied in so I can't take out, and these ones are just way too big on your own to take out. So there's always that dilemma. Which way do you do it? Do you do fence first and then paint, or do you paint first and then creosote? So this year we've painted first, and then if we choose to creosote, there's probably a good year in them left. We probably don't need it this year, but not so much the front of these, but it's the back of them that need creosoting. So hopefully the dribbles of the paint should go down the back, so we should be all right, but we'll see. Anyway, next job, put a load of creosote on the back of here. So it's that time of year again. It's about time to bring the tub out to make some evil mix. Old engine oil, creosote and bitumen. Evil mix, yeah. We're about to make some evil mix. See that? They really clip these aluminium towers are so handy, and they go up pretty quick. Not too heavy to handle. You've got to have the little knobbles on the end inwards on them, yeah, so they push out and go straight. When you put them on, they lean like this, and then you put your bars in. You put your handrails in. Always put your handrails in, and then always remember you'll get a set of thin bars, which is the size of it, and then these long ones are diagonals to crisscross it, to lock it into place. We weren't going that far, so I chose not to go so high with those. It's done the same thing, it's just held it. So I've got 2 crosses here. I didn't even need another floor, but I put another floor in just to help me get to the next level, and it all just clips in. It's really good stuff, you know. It all just clips together. There's a little safety clip here that keeps these on, and then you have a door, your hatch door, so you climb up here and then you shut your door, and that gives you your walking surface. And you can also climb up them as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to climb up them, and the secret of climbing is always keep 3 points of contact. So a foot and a hand. I know I'm not doing it correctly now because I've got a phone in my hand. But what you do is just move one body part at a time. So 1 foot at a time until you're where you're at, till you're comfortable. And then you move your hands, then you move your feet, then you move your hands. Hold on. And then I put a handrail in there, look, to hold on to as you come on. Put this across here. Yeah, so it's easy. Anyway, we're going to give this another coat, almost for luck really. It's been about an hour. Yeah, it's touch dry. So we're going to give it one more last go before the scaffolding goes. Yeah. But then we've got to fix this. We've got to do this as well, haven't I? I've got a junction. At the moment it's coming out onto the roof. We're going to use that pipe and bridge it across so it doesn't hammer that corner, because when it rains, boy oh boy does it rain, and these gitters fill, you know, when it rains heavy. Right, let's give this another little coat. So here we go, the same applies now. Step on, hold on. You're not getting a good view there, are you? Step on, put your feet on, get yourself comfortable, and then start moving downwards. One piece at a time, one hand at a time, one grip at a time. Yeah. So 1, 2. Keep my hand there. 2, right. Put my hand there, grip here. Foot, hand, foot, hand. Whatever makes you comfortable, but always keep 3. Don't move a hand and a foot at the same time. But a handy thing. So we've just got to do the side. We're going to wait for Stephen and use them steps to do the side, and then busy tomorrow. Well, that's easily going to reach the front of the house and maybe allow us to stretch over and do that side of it. We're not going to do the top. No way, Jose. Well, when the roof was done, that had a good load of coatings, and it doesn't get the filth the same up there. So the road creates quite a bit of filth, you know, the cars going by. Well, I may have dropped a boo-boo here. Oh, I may have not. Oh no. Oh, that's funny. The MOT is due. And to be honest, we've had it 5 years. Okay, we've paid the tick payment and we've had it serviced. But that's all. We had a puncture in one tyre. We had one tyre. It was fairly, well, it was like brand new. And that's there because it had a, that's why that tyre's there, because it had a puncture in the side, so we had to replace the tyre. And I think we've replaced 2. We've done 22,000 on it, so it's coming up for its 5th year MOT. Anyway, I took the wipers out of the, I went up to Volkswagen to get some wipers for it. Not 10 quid, not 20 quid, not 30 quid, not 40 quid, not 50 quid, 55 quid for a set of wipers. Anyway, for a whole year, that's not really bad, is it? That's not really bad for a whole year. Anyway, I opened them just and I thought, oh damn, a big one and a small one. I never realised that the Passat has one big wiper and one little wiper. Blimey. Blimey, who knew that? I'd never really noticed before. Have you noticed? I always thought wipers were always even. But on the Passat estate, I guess all Passats, there's a big one and a little one. Anyway, I'll get on and change them. Oh, let me tell you. If that'll stay there, it won't, will it? That's not going to stay there, hold on. Well, anyway, let me tell you. They're really easy to change. Really easy to change. You press this little button, which is that little button there, and you pull them out. I mean, you ain't messing with no universal this or universal that. So anyway, let me half pull that out and see what we can do. So let's see how simple it is to change the wipers on a Passat. Really simple. Really, really simple, look. Otherwise you're always messing with some sort of universal kit or something like that. Hey, first time for me to change wipers on a Passat. I've pulled that out. You can't get it wrong because it can only go in one way. They just sort of clip in and clip out. It's come on, I'm trying to do this one-handed here. We got it started. And you just, oh no, it's raining. Oh, it sounded like it was raining. It could be the wind blowing leaves. And all you do is you plug it back in. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Look at that. Blimey. So you press that little button down and it pulls out. Press the little button down, look, and just pulls out. Goes back in. You ain't messing with no universal stuff, whatever. Anyway, one big wiper and one little wiper. I mean, to think that it's been in filthy transport yards with filth all over the dust, you know, over the windscreen, and then you're washing it. So it's had a good use. Yeah, very pleased. So the only cost, apart from obviously buying it, 2 tyres that we've, fair enough, we've worn thin, 1 puncture, and obviously the price of buying it, but we had a good deposit on it anyway. This is now over a 5-year period paid for. Lovely jubbly. Ready for the next one now. But yeah, it's done really well, to be honest. There's a few niggly bits. There's just a few niggly bits, which is probably, I'd probably say it's my fault, but I'm a bit disappointed on the way this wears here. Okay. Okay, I'm wearing work gear, so I'm probably rubbing myself in and rubbing myself out, but they didn't maybe account for that. But I am disappointed on, and I did think I had a warranty problem on the windscreen, on the steering wheel, but the guy came and cleaned it. It was filth. I'd had whatever I carried off my hands onto the steering wheel, and I thought it was going wrong. It wasn't, that it was filthy. But all in all, when we first had it, it had a recall on the back wheels, on the back bearing, whatever it was. It wasn't many weeks old and it went back. So I thought, oh my God, here we begin. But anyway, she's done really well. She's done, fair play to it. Okay, it hasn't done many miles. It's only done 22, let's have a look. It's only done 22,000 miles. Look, it's only done, what is it? 23,000 miles now. No, 22,318. And it's in really good nick. Someone's going to get a bargain. Somebody, when it goes into Part X. And I forgot to mention, when we had it, we had that Gen 3 glass coat, which I had on the other. I've had Life Shine on my cars and, you know, in the past, and they're all right. But this this glass coat stuff, you give that a good wash, it comes up like a brand new penny. It comes up really well. We've got a few dinks. There's a little dink here, and there's a little dink. It's took a few pecks on the front, obviously stone pecks and whatever. It's not like it's been thrashing up and down the motorway. So it's turned out after 5 years, I think she's done all right. Yeah, I think she's done all right. Well, I don't know if you can see the difference on the, it might show up on the big telly. On the phone it doesn't look much difference, and here it doesn't look much difference, but I think all that shadowing and change of colour on this level here is well gone now. That's well covered. Yeah, that's well covered, because it was meant to have the last time we painted it, it was meant to have a second coat, and we never did put a second coat on it, so it looks very patchy, very, you know, you can see it, can't you? You can see it where it's not ready for its second coat. So 2 or 3 coats, I think, to do a better job, we're gonna have to give this 2 or 3 coats at least. Yeah. And of course, because it's been a change of colour, hasn't it? Which wasn't really part of the plan. So anyway, yeah, a couple of, maybe 4 coats has been on there now, and it looks really good. Yeah, but you'll only really tell when I put this now. I'll put this on YouTube, and then put the YouTube on the big television, and then hopefully it should show up any anything we haven't done or anything we've missed. So I'm going to give you a first impressions on this NF 1100, the higher bike that we've had to replace the wing. Okay, it's not a wing, it's nothing like a wing, it's never going to be like a wing. It's taller, it's quite tall, and it's 2 cylinders, 1100 cc's, but it's plod. I'm not a 2-cylinder guy. I've always had 4 cylinders, and in the wing, as you know, it's 6 cylinders. I can see how this works now. I didn't initially, but when your foot is here, I can see how this does a good job of keeping the weather off you. I don't want to break it. This does go up. You squeeze the 2 in and push it up. I've squeezed the 2 in and it didn't want to go up, so I've left it alone, because, you know, it's a higher bike. I didn't mess. It's not much of a review, is it? I didn't mess with the settings. The buttons, blimey. I did like this screen, it was great. And I did like that it's clear and bright, you know, it's a good, come on, there we are. Oh, and even with your glove on, when you press that with your glove on, it worked. So that was good. I kept it in tour mode. Yeah, I only popped up the road, I don't know, 10 mile or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so, all right. It's chain drive. Ugh. And I'm used to shaft drive, but you know, it's much lighter, much easier to keep your balance on, turns on a penny. The only well, when I was flat footing it, these kept catching the side of my leg. I don't know why, maybe they're in a different position on the wing or whatever, but as I put my feet down, I could feel these on both sides rubbing the inside of my leg. Would you get used to that? It's the first bike I've had where my leg interacted with the pegs. Maybe the position of it, I don't know. It was comfortable. Shift. Now this is my point. I had it in tour. Now, I'm not a speeder. Why do you buy big bikes? Maybe I should have a smaller bike, I don't know, but I like the CCs. I buy them because I want CCs. It's got plenty of grunt, but when you go into a place or past the village and the sign says 30, and I'm in no particular rush, I don't want to be doing 40, I want to be doing 30. Actually, I'm happy to do 25 if the roads are cleared in front of me and there's nobody behind me. I'm happy to do 25. If you come to a 40, same. It wasn't very comfortable doing 40 miles an hour. It was very clunky. The throttle, it was maybe the setting or whatever, but the throttle was very on and off like switching. It had good engine braking, better than the wing, because the wing tends to roll. But of course, that adds to the smoothness of it. The link brakes on the wing, it works well. I did notice that obviously when you ride a bike you mainly use your front brake and you little times touch your back brake. It did dip, unlike the wing doesn't dip because it's got link brakes. It tends to sit down rather than nosedive. Obviously everything will nosedive if you brake that hard. But as a tour bike, you can cover the ground with this thing. It'll, when you're talking from say 50, once you get up to 50, 60, 70, the thing shifts. You can overtake easily. At the higher speeds, this is a really good, capable bike. But if you don't want to do higher speeds and you're happy doing 35 in a 40 or maybe doing 45 in a 50, that's the only thing that, but maybe I shouldn't have such a big bike. I shouldn't have asked for such a big bike. Maybe if I want to stay within the limits, it's maybe I should get a smaller one. But why do they make bikes that that encourages you to drive like a lunatic? So out on the road, this is great power, great braking, feeling great, altogether a great bike. But when it comes to doing 25 in a 30, when it comes down to, and I know it's difficult, we've got lots of 20 miles an hour around here, it's not so good. And my thinking was, I was in tour mode, so my idea of touring is there's no rush, you're driving along, you're taking your time, you're sucking in the view, you're smelling the grass and you're sucking in the view, and it didn't like it. But I mean, it's got some, once you get them revs up, once you get the thing moving, oh boy, does it like shifting. It's so easy to go past 70 on it, so easy to go past 60. It's sort of sweet going 60. 50 is great, 60 is great, and 70 is great. But of course the national speed limit, even on the motorways, is 70. So if you just want to pootle around, obeying the rules, maybe staying 5 miles under, doing 25 in a 30, doing 35 in a 40. And to be calling it a touring bike, I thought that was a bit odd. But anyway, my first impressions, great. I was going to say though, it's a 4-stroke, it's 2 cylinders, it's 4 strokes. So at any one time, there's only one cylinder firing, because a 4-stroke is a suck, squeeze, bang, blow. So induction, compression, power, and exhaust. So of the 4 strokes, there's only one that gives you power. So at any one time here, there's only one cylinder pushing you along, because the other one is doing any one of the other 3. So whereas on the wing you've got 6 cylinders, so you've always got at least 2, maybe 3 cylinders working for you, pushing you along at the same time. So it was strange for me. I've never been twin cylinder boy. I've always been multi-cylinders, so maybe that's the nature of them, you know. But it was tut 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 tut, and I'm not used to that. But I was going along thinking, you know, 2 cylinders, 4 strokes per cylinder. There's only 1 power shot in every 4 strokes. So you've only got 1 cylinder of power pushing you along at any one time. Although it's revving, you know, 2,000 revs to the minute, I was sitting about 2.5. Now once you get it up to the power, once you're going 3, 4, 5,000 revs, well, you know, then it's hang on time. That's comes into its thing. So maybe I should try, because I don't particularly want to speed about. Maybe it's not a good thing having a bigger bike. Maybe I should have a smaller bike. I don't know. Anyway, otherwise, okay, it's to replace the wing, and it's not a wing because it hasn't got shaft drive and it's not got, you know. So I'm just getting over the shock of it not being a gold wing. And then to give you some sort of scale, Debbie said it looks like a 125. You know, when the gold wing is in here, it fills it, doesn't it? It's tiny compared to the gold wing, and yet it's 1100 cc's. So that's a bit of a shocker, seeing a little small bike here.